fights with passion, and he inspires.
Are you ready for a war?
All right, welcome back to From 8 Arbitration. Monday episode. Was going to do one yesterday, but my grandson was with his dad on July 4th, and I didn't know that was going to happen, and so they could not come over. So yesterday, I had all my kids over, my grandson, and so they stayed the day with me and my wife, and so I did not do an episode last night, and I just couldn't put it out there that I wasn't going to do one until today. So this is the Monday episode, all right? So sorry about yesterday, but I had my grandson when we celebrated the 4th of July yesterday. And so they came over, we grilled out, had a good time, but it lasted late until the night. And so, no Sunday episode, and I apologize for that. So we got a Monday episode. And my ass is beat. Let me tell you. My ass is wore out, son. We got killed with mail today. I don't know how y'all were, but my station was killed with mail. We had mail everywhere. And so you stay all day in there sticking mail, then you walk out, and it's suffocating. It's so hot. I mean, it takes your breath away. You know what I'm talking about? When you roll your mail out to the back dock, and you're loading up, you're already sweating so much. And so you're trying to stay hydrated as much as you can. And I got a walking route, so it's hotter than Hades out there. And about 1 o'clock, there comes a monsoon. I mean, it rained harder than I've ever seen it rain. It was raining sideways, and it was just pitch black. Well, that lasted for about 2 hours. So my ass was dragging, son, when we got done. And then, of course, my car got hit a week or so ago coming back from Illinois, and the insurance company calls me and says they're totaling it out, which is a crock of shit. I mean, there was nothing hardly wrong with the car. It was a Ford Fusion, and those things, if you know the resale on those, you can sell them for just about what you paid for them. And so they totaled my car out. So today I had to go and empty my car out at the body shop. Then I had to go take my rental back. And so it's been a hell of a day. A hell of a damn day, man. And so, we're going to do this Monday episode. And I'm going to try to stay civil because there's some shit's been pissing me off with management, this safety bullshit, and we're going to kind of keep that going. I do have one announcement. Now, the episode's not going to be long because I'm going to read two things that Manny Peralta sent me. He asked me to read them, so I'm going to do that because I told him I would. And so it's not going to be a very long episode. But I may get a little sideways, all right? But one announcement. July 13th, Sunday, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, enforcing heat safety at USPS. Now, this is on Next Generation Carriers podcast, okay? That live Zoom, if you know what I'm talking about. They're going to have a bunch of different podcasters on there. City letter carriers that do podcasts. They're going to have a bunch of us on there. I'll be on there. Several others will be on there that you know of. And so this will be Sunday, July 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Enforcing Heat Safety at USPS. And the Zoom registration is at nextgenerationcarriers.com/heat. nextgenerationcarriers.com/heat. All right. And so get on there and register for that. I think you'll really enjoy it. A lot of people send in questions, and so we're going to just kind of cover the questions. We're going to answer those for you, all right? And so I think that will be invaluable. I love the way they do things on Next Generation Carriers podcast. I think they do a great job. And so, when they asked, I said, absolutely, I'll help, all right? And so there's your one announcement. We're going to get into the safety stuff, like I said, and it pisses me off to no end. The double standard of it all, right? We've talked about double standard before. When you say the falsification of clock rings, when management falsifies our clock rings, they will get, if we get a cease and desist, we're lucky. That's just the way the system works. If we get a cease and desist, we're lucky. But if we did that, if we came in and falsified clock rings, had somebody scan us in when we were on our way to work, we would be terminated. That's just how it is. And we've talked about that in the past, the double standard of it all. Even with safety, there's a double standard between management and the craft. Even with safety, when you talk about, you had 3 buffoons. I don't know if you remembered me talking about that SOP, where these 3 idiot asses at headquarters get together, spend all this time and money coming up with this SOP to put out a safety blitz, to find us without a seatbelt on so they can put us on emergency placement. Not give us an official discussion, but take us off our livelihood because we didn't have a seatbelt on. In the name of safety, right? In the name of safety, that's what they did. Then you have these idiot asses that sit there and tell you that, I read that email where the district manager was telling people, go out, do these safety blitzes, and don't come back until you find something. Don't come back until you find a carrier doing something wrong, and I want to know what you're going to do with them for safety purposes, right? That's all in the name of safety. I had the other one, go out, and anybody with their wheels not curbed, put them off the clock for safety purposes, right? And so the double standard of that, those things piss me off, because I will prove that the premier heat training that the Postal Service does, HIPP, is intentionally falsified. And we will be lucky to get a cease and desist on that. Now that's dealing with safety. You didn't see one supervisor or manager put on emergency placement by district when we proved that they intentionally falsified their premier heat training. That's safety. Why did they not get put on emergency placement? Well, but we do, for a seatbelt, for wheels not curbed. Why is there that double standard? Why will there always be that double standard between us and them? You'll have a manager stand out on the middle of the workroom floor and tell carriers that you do not get an extra break in the heat unless the temperature is 110 degrees. Now, why was that individual not put on emergency placement? If we're dealing with safety, if safety is such a big concern that the city letter carrier will be removed from their livelihood, if it's such a big concern to be safe, why is a manager allowed to get on a workroom floor and say something so completely unsafe? That is something that could maim or kill one of my carriers. It's the double standard of it, right? I had a handful of people sent me their heat training from last week, showing that it was still being falsified, even though they watered the training down. You don't even have to do the video anymore. You just have to do just a few things. And they're still putting them in as taking the training, and they're not. No one was put on emergency placement for that, and we're talking about safety. So why is there this double standard between us and them? Why is it that we are the ones who are always punished and not them? Have you ever thought about that? What is it about us where we are the ones who are constantly getting kicked around? We're the ones who are constantly getting a foot in the ass. Management can do whatever in the fuck they want to do to us. They can do whatever in the fuck they want to do. They can falsify clock rings, training. They can falsify package scans. They can leave mail laying around routes just completely undelivered. Tell you just to bring mail back at any time. Under Article 3, they have that right. We do any of those things and we're terminated. Why is it that the city letter carrier is treated as less than human? A bucket of mail is more important to management than our livelihood. A hamper of parcels is more important to management than our livelihood. Times, our office times. They'll falsify clock rings to show an hour office time when we were still in the office sticking mail. Times are more important than the carrier's livelihood. Why is that? Why is it that this craft is treated such? Is it because our union is filled with failures? Is that why? Here's the thing I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you this. When the CLC takes over next year, this is a promise from me to you. We are attacking the workroom floor. We're attacking the workroom floor. And we're going to deal with those double standards when we talk about the toxic working environment, when we talk about heat issues, and there will be several other things where we will attack the workroom floor. Here's, if I'm going to, the perfect workroom floor to me, and this is what I'm going to strive for my carriers, and it's my station. To me, that's the perfect workroom floor. And that's what I would strive for across this entire country when you're talking about the toxic working environment. I want my carriers to come in and be able to talk to each other, work, stick their mail, go out on their route, be safe, and go home. Not have to worry about toxic managers, not have to worry about fucking idiots. That's what I want for the city letter carrier. And I will do everything humanly possible to make sure that happens. Here's my idea of the union, what the union will be under CLC leadership. If you looked at the movie, if you ever watched the movie 300, it's the perfect example, the movie 300. You had the Persians. The Persians were coming and they were going to try to take over Greece, right? Specifically Sparta. And so they sent their cronies in there to talk to King Leonidas. Remember? And he kicked the dude into the well. And so what did the Spartans do after that? Did the Spartans fortify their hometown and wait for the Persians to come to them? No. They went after the Persians. Now, the Persians was the mightiest military force in the world at the time. There was nothing close to second. The Persians were the mightiest military force in the world. And here's the Spartans, 300 of them, going at them. They went at the Persians. They didn't wait for them to come to them. Remember? They went at the Persians. The Persians were coming off their ships right there on the shore. That's where the Spartans went and took the fight to them. That's how our union's going to be. We're going to take the fight to postal management when we take over. That's a foregone conclusion. We've already got things in place where that's going to happen. But that's my idea of workroom floor. The union is going to do union type shit, and the city letter carrier is going to come in and enjoy their day. They'll always have some workroom issues. But the union is going to start doing union type shit under the CLC. The city letter carrier is going to take back over this union. And we're going to deal with the double standards of it all. All of these things that I've been talking about. But I've been thinking about that all day, really a couple of days. And it's just pissed me the fuck off to think of how far we have fallen. And you talk about the city letter carrier craft. When you have management just running roughshod over us, the union abandoning us, and you'll have the establishment. They will come after us. They come after me. I don't give two rat's asses about the establishment at all. If y'all knew how little I cared about the establishment, those cronies, those lackeys, and this is funny. You had one of the establishment the other day was talking about how I need to change. Well, now that he's running for EVP, he needs to change. So he needs to be more like us. He needs to fall in line and quit all that rhetoric. He needs to be like we are, cowardly motherfuckers, and that's not going to happen. The one thing that I will not do, even if it costs me a shot at the EVP, is change who I am. I will never change that. So anybody that's telling me, as far as the establishment, that I need to change, that I need to bend, that I need to be like one of them, a cowardly motherfucker, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing it. They say, well, you just call everybody pieces of shit. You can't keep calling people pieces of shit. I remember James Henry and I, we were going and speaking at a place in Tennessee. And right before I got up to speak, I was walking up front with the microphone, and this person in the back, they yelled, "Hey, we want the Sunday Corey, not the Wednesday Corey." And so I thought that was funny. And so I told him, I said, "Hey, I brought both those motherfuckers with me. Both of those motherfuckers are here. And so we will get whichever one y'all want." And they wanted the Sunday Corey, and that's what they got. But I always have those motherfuckers with me. Both of them. And it just depends on what setting I'm in, is which one you're going to get. You've heard me in arbitrations. I put plenty of them up. You got the Wednesday Corey, the one that gets in front of people and is able to put on an arbitration, right, in front of an arbitrator, in front of labor, but one that still puts the city letter carrier first, right? Then you have those other settings where you get the Sunday Corey. But anybody telling me that I need to change, that I need to bend because I'm running for a position, you want me to be just like y'all. And that's not going to happen. I will never be a punk bitch. I will never be a cowardly son of a bitch like a lot of those on the executive council. Now, you may like that, you may not. I don't give a fuck. Because my carriers are in fucking trouble. My carriers are in trouble. And you want me to bend to y'all. You can kiss my ass on that. You're talking about, well, he calls everybody a piece of shit. Let me tell you something. And listen closely to this. Listen closely. If during the period of time where my carriers were in the roughest part of these past 3 years under this idiot-ass president, if during that period of time anybody in a position of power, business agents, national officers, resident officers, if when shit was hitting the fan on the city letter carrier, and instead of protecting the city letter carrier, you chose to protect Renfro, you are a piece of shit. Period. If any time the carriers were being beat up by management, and you sat by and did nothing, you are a piece of shit. If at any time the choice came between a carrier or something else, and you chose something else, you are a piece of shit. I don't know how any more plainly I could say that. That's how I feel. As a city letter carrier, that's how I feel. I will not change for anybody. I'm just not going to do it. You got two people in the establishment that are out and about now on different podcasts. One's a fucking feather in the wind. He'll change his position whatever group he's in front of. He's a snake. I will not change with who I'm in front of. I'll carry this message to every single person that I talk to. We're going to put the city letter carrier first. The city letter carrier is going to be put back over this union. They're going to start running this union. We're going to protect the workroom floor. We're going to go in force for the city letter carrier on the workroom floor. That message will never change. James Henry will be the next president of this union. That's a foregone conclusion. Why? He's the only one running with any integrity. The only one. The rest are establishment lackeys that are going to protect the establishment. So you got a feather in the wind running for one of the positions, right? And I don't know if the other one's going to run or not, but he's got bigger demons to fight than me. If y'all know what I'm talking about. But I will not take the advice from a snake. Adam and Eve did that. And look what happened. I will not take advice from a snake. I'm just not going to do it. My carriers are in fucking trouble, man. My carriers are in trouble on this workroom floor. We are dying. We are dying. And management is fucking us over. Fucking us over. And you got motherfuckers out there lying their fucking asses off. Fucking snakes. Because all that matters to them is position and title. The city letter carrier doesn't matter to them. If it did, If the city letter carrier mattered to individuals, then they would do what's best for the city letter carrier. If it's something just as simple as keeping your word. But you got motherfuckers that would rather climb a tree to tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the truth. You got that. That's management. That's also others. They'd rather climb a tree to tell a lie than stand on the ground and tell the fucking truth. That's where we are. This union right now needs James Henry more than anything. A man with integrity. We are hurting as far as that's concerned. We are hurting. But the COC will win. James Henry will win. And we're going to put the city letter carriers first. We're going to attack the workroom floor. Because this shit has been stewing on me for a fucking week about the safety issues. People sending me the HIPP falsification still being falsified because we didn't address it properly initially. Nationally. We didn't do that. And you got motherfuckers out there worried about me. I need to change. I need to conform to cowardice. I need to be one of them, the good old boys, if I'm going to win any kind of position. I need to be a good old boy like these sorry, low-down, cowardly motherfuckers. That's not going to happen. It's not going to fucking happen. Like I said, you want Sunday or Wednesday, I'll bring both of those motherfuckers with me wherever I go. They'll always be with me. I can sit in any setting and talk to anybody. On their side or our side. But if a motherfucker wants to get right, we can do that too. But yeah, as much as we're hurting and the sheer amount of dishonesty going on with these other low-down rotten snakes, incredible. Your priorities are wrong. Priorities are wrong with the establishment. But the establishment will always protect the establishment if you're paying attention. They will always protect the establishment. This is no different. But they'll keep coming after me, and that's fine. Like I said, they're not sending their best. They're not sending their best. So, and trust me, when they say the lion doesn't concern himself with the opinion of sheep, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Lions don't concern themselves with the opinion of sheep, right? So it's unfortunate. But a snake is a snake is a snake. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with snakes. Feathers in the wind. Ships without a port. Nowhere to go because everybody that cared for them, they fucked over. And so they have nowhere to go. They'll be forever at sea, lost. And that's where we're at. But, all right, so here's this. I had to get that off my chest because I'm telling you, man, just thinking when people sending me these things where they're still falsifying HIPP. Still falsifying it today. That's how little management cares about the city letter carrier. That's how little they care about us. And we have no champion right now. Our president is lost. He knows he's losing. He knows there's no chance. Everybody on his ticket is defecting. They're going to run independent. I don't know how he's going to have a ticket to put together. But the cowardice that came out of that administration while he's been there, the cowardice that came out of that administration, him and his second, Barner, the cowardice that was displayed by them. When we were going through the roughest time I can remember, and you got motherfuckers on the executive council that are going to protect that, and you're going to come at me? You're going to come at me? You need to change calling these people pieces of shit. Motherfuckers are pieces of shit. What's so fucking hard to understand about that? It is what it fucking is. If you're a piece of shit, you're just a fucking piece of shit. The city letter carrier, us, me, my people, are getting bludgeoned down here. You got management still falsifying shit. Y'all should have taken care of that. We had to do that here on the workroom floor, on these podcasts. We had to do that. Y'all's fucking job. And you worried about me? Fuck you. Calling people pieces of shit. Motherfucker's a piece of shit. Fuck. You know, damn. Does anybody up there fucking care about the city letter carrier? Anybody? The voting records will speak to that. The voting records will speak to that. How you voted when shit was hitting the fan. How you voted. But you have some that will dissent just because they're looking for a position. They will go against their very word just for a fucking position. Because they're more important than their own name, than their own word. James Henry can't get in here fast enough, folks, let me tell you. He cannot get in here fast enough. And get rid of these sorry, cowardly, snake-ass motherfuckers we got up there. My people are dying in yards, still. Just passed out in vehicles, still. Going to ICUs, still. Management is falsifying shit, still. Dealing with our safety and our health. Where's the fucking uproar over that shit? You got dumb motherfuckers sitting there saying, you need to change. Motherfucker, do something other than that. Go get management. Go do something constructive for once in your fucking life. Motherfucker. You know, I want a fucking union that's a militant motherfucker, man. That's what I want. Y'all been educating yourselves for 3 years now. City letter carriers, shop stewards. Y'all been educating yourselves for 3 years now with me. When we take over, be ready. Be ready. We're going to fuck some shit up when we take over. I'm telling you, on my life, we're doing that. Be fucking ready. We're going to be in those workroom floors in force. Changing the culture for the city letter carrier. All this other cowardly bullshit, we're voting out. All of it. And the pieces of shit that I've been talking about, they're going to go with them. They're going to get voted out too. Tell me I need to change. You need to change. You need to be softer. Soft my ass. I'm so sick of my carriers getting run over. It should be infuriating to everybody. Especially my fucking union, my agent. Fuck, we pay y'all. The city letter carriers having to do all the fucking work. All of it. And the motherfuckers we pay ain't doing a fucking thing. Hell, Renfro's done stripped everybody of their fucking responsibilities. James Henry ain't got one. He's done taken every single one of his away because he's running. He's done taking them all away. Barner, Jackson, Mac Julian. Yeah, motherfuckers just paranoid as fuck, taking everybody's responsibilities away. We're paying money for our agent to do something. And this motherfucker's up there just stripping people of their responsibilities. God bless America. And you got motherfuckers protecting that, defending that. Snakes, brother. I'm telling y'all, snakes. Wait until y'all hear about the finances. Wait till that shit. Son. You know, it wouldn't have been like this. Hell, I've been doing good lately. You know? I've been fucking chill, mellow. You know, Renfro's done for. I can stay off of him. He's done. Everybody knows it. They're jumping ship like crazy. I don't see how he's going to put a ticket together. He may not. You got other people running for president, snakes, fucking idiots. I'm not concerned about them the least bit. Like I said, feather in the wind. Just whatever in the fuck. Whoever I'm in front of, what do y'all want to hear? That's what I'll tell you. But man, my people are hurting, brother. And I see my carriers on social media helping out each other, saying, hey, look, this is what helps me in the heat. This air conditioner, you can buy it right here on this. This hat, it's got this in it. These clothes, it's got this. This drink, it's got this. Seeing my people do that, rise the fuck up for each other, because our agent has fucking failed us miserably, that gets me fired up, son. That gets me fucking fired up, man. God. Yeah, our union is as worthless as shit right now. Worthless as fuck. We got people dying in the streets, and you got dumb motherfuckers sitting there telling me I need to change. What's your fucking priority? Huh? What is your fucking priority? I'm delivering mail now. I did today. In fucking sweltering heat, then in a fucking monsoon. You worried about me? Why don't all you raggedy, sorry, lying, snake-ass motherfuckers get together and do something for the city letter care for once? Do that. I love the city letter care with all my heart. I love them. I work with them every day. My family, Belmead, the Belmead Mafia, would do anything for them, and they know that. Going to Seattle Wednesday. Can't wait to see my people. Going to Portland week after that. Can't wait to see my people. Texas, California, Minneapolis, Florida. Can't wait to see my people. Knowing that they're going through that same struggle. Wherever I go, they're going through that same struggle. It breaks your heart, man. It breaks your fucking heart. It kills me. Fucking kills me. Knowing that my union, the agent, has failed us so miserably over the last 2 or 3 years because of a fucking shit show we have up there as president and executive vice president. Knowing that, knowing this, my people are still being hurt and harmed on the workroom floor. We have failed them miserably, not doing grievances that we should have done, not educating like we should have been doing. You got a dumb motherfucker coming out with a podcast now who's got bigger demons than anything we could ever throw at his ass. And then you got another one for president. This motherfucker can't tell the truth, save his life. Thank God for James Henry. God, we would be fucked if it wasn't for that. Thank God for James Henry. Holy fuck, could you imagine being stuck with somebody else? God bless. Anyway, I'm going to read these 2 things from... I told you, man, I was fired up, son. Been fired up, baby. Seeing my people... It fires me up. Seeing my people come to each other's defense, coming to each other's aid, coming to help each other on social media like they do. Post after post after post. Do this to protect yourself. Do this to protect yourself. Wear this. Drink that. Seeing that and knowing the incompetence of my fucking union fires me up. And just damn knuckleheads with their priorities up their ass. All right, I am going to read these 2 things now. I'm done venting. I love you, City Letter Care. Believe that. Know that. Vote for me. Don't vote for me. Look, I love you. We got plans for the workroom floor. But if I don't get voted in, I'm still going to do this podcast, and I'm still going to love you. Right? I just cannot continue to tell y'all to stand up and fight and me not do that. I can't tell y'all, hey, pick up the flag. Pick up the flag. Get in, we're going motherfuckering. And me sit over here on the sidelines like so many others have done, where they've watched from afar or whatever. So many have done that and are still doing that. I cannot, in good conscience, tell y'all to fight and me stand over here and keep doing the fucking podcast. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I'm jumping in the ring, in the arena. Something like that on EVP. It's something I never thought I would do, but I'm going to do it. And we're going to excel at it. Why? Because we actually love the fucking city letter care. Unlike the establishment you have in there now that's only worried about one thing and one thing only, themselves, their title, position. Anybody that'll go back on his word like has happened is worried about one thing only, not the city letter carrier. They're not worried about that. They're worried about position and title. Heat, illness, resources. Heat, illness, resources. Now, Manny sent me this a couple of weeks ago. I did the HIPP portion last week. And then this week I'm going to read these 2 things that he sent me as well that asked me to read. And, of course, I told him I would. During the week of March 31st, I was provided with a copy of the new USPS heat safety training material. The documents were received through a district in the Westpac area. By letter dated April 4th of 2025, USPS headquarters provided the NALC with a general interest notice confirming the authenticity of the same materials. As I write this column, I have a few questions that I have posed to management and will update you as the information is received. The materials as provided are helpful in many respects. There are a number of documents that were provided, so I will address a few of them, highlighting some of the material. The first document I want to address is titled FY25 Heat Illness Prevention Program Final. This is a 9-page typed document which instructs as follows. This written program documents the procedure necessary to comply with the required elements of the Postal Service's Heat Illness Prevention Program, or HIPP. This document will be reviewed annually to ensure effectiveness and compliance. Copies of this document are available to employees upon request. The HIPP is triggered during the period of April 1 through October 31st and at any other time when weather reports issued by the National Weather Service, NWS, for a particular work location indicated the outdoor heat index temperatures are expected to exceed 80 degrees Fahrenheit during the course of a workday or work shift. And that's another thing, getting back on this rant. You had the head of safety in one of these districts come out to a station and when questioned about HIPP, tell them that we no longer do HIPP. They weren't put on emergency placement. Y'all see what I'm saying? Here's the Postal Service sending Manny Peralta saying, hey, this is fiscal year 25, talking about HIPP. And you got safety going around saying, we don't do HIPP any longer. That's the double standard we're going to address, right? We're going to address it all the way up the chain if we have to. These unsafe managers and supervisors, when you talk about dogs of war, we're going to have one for that. That's a promise from me to you. Those that excel at OSHA complaints, those that excel on heat-related grievances, those that excel on those things, because what you want to do is you want to make a statement, right? A grievance is a great thing, but you want to make a statement. You want to send in a team on them to make a statement, to make an example of these individuals. And that way, district will say, oh, shit, these motherfuckers are for real. Because district managers will be involved, MPOs will be involved, area will be involved. It's a statement. The toxic working environment, dogs of war. It's a statement that we're not fucking around any longer. And that's what this is. You want to address things on the workroom floor? Invade the workroom floor as a union, as an agent. Please take a close look at the document to know which responsibilities fall on the shoulders of your local managers and which fall on the shoulders of district and area managers. On page 2 of the material, it spells out training requirements for new employees and refresher training for the employees who had already taken the full formal training in the past. It states, training, 1, initial. The Postal Service will require initial completion of an online training course on heat stress by all employees in every facility during employee orientation. This course will discuss the effects of heat on the body, outline the risk factors for heat-related illness, and describe the associated response for each. This training will also explain several control measures, techniques, and safe work practices that can be used to prevent heat-related illness as outlined in this document. 2. Annual refresher. Each employee shall receive the Heat Illness and Prevention 2501 refresher training as an annual refresher prior to April 1st of each year. Now that's what somebody sent me and showed me that they had already falsified that. Okay, they're already falsifying these things again. Employees who are absent when the refresher training is provided are required to be provided with the training prior to returning to street duties during the period April 1 through October 31st. This document includes planning and expectations as follows. Emergency planning and response. All employees are encouraged to take immediate action if they observe another employee exhibiting signs or symptoms of heat-related illness. Employees should err on the side of caution and immediately call 911 whenever an employee complains of or is observed exhibiting signs of heat-related illness and it is determined medical intervention may be necessary. Other emergency planning and response procedures will include, but are not limited to, the following actions. Employees will be trained to recognize symptoms of heat-related illness and taught basic first aid measures related to heat stress as described in the training section above. Employees observed by management exhibiting signs of or symptoms of a heat-related illness will be monitored and shall not be left alone or sent home without being provided with emergency medical service. Please take serious note of the fact that management is training us to err on the side of caution and to call 911 whenever an employee complains of or is exhibiting signs of heat-related illness. If you are with a coworker who is exhibiting the signs of heat illness, don't delay in making a prompt assessment and don't delay in contacting 911 if necessary. The effects of heat exhaustion or heat stroke may make your coworker unable to realize that they are in a dangerous situation and, absent your involvement, the situation could turn into a tragedy. Keep an eye on each other. And that's exactly what y'all are doing. You're keeping an eye on each other. In social media, when you're talking about, here's what we need to do, here's what I do, here's what I drink, here's what I wear, here's what I use. You're taking care of each other. And that's what this is saying on the workroom floor. Do the same. Keep an eye on each other. We're all we've got, city letter carrier. Trust me, we're all we've got. We are being failed right now by buffoons on both sides. Fucking idiot asses on both sides. We're being failed. Page 6 of the materials contains a listing of the necessary engineering and administrative controls, among which we draw your attention to the following. Potable water sources are available in all facilities and are monitored during regular safety inspections. An escalation process is put in place to prioritize all requests for HVAC repairs and temporary abatement efforts in postal facilities. When the HIPP is in effect, supervisors, while performing required street observations, will remind employees to continue to hydrate while on their route, take necessary breaks, and to call 911 if they experience heat-related illnesses. Supervisors should emphasize these instructions to employees who are newly hired or returning from extended absence of 7 or more consecutive days, if known. Appendix 1 of the material addresses management's additional responsibilities, that is, to make sure everyone receives the necessary training. There are 2 HIPP stand-up talks. They are not thorough, so do not rely on them alone. Heat Illness Prevention Program Safety Talk, HIPP 2068, is contained in the material. Make sure it is given to all employees. Heat Illness and Prevention Annual Refresher 2501. One of the additional items is a document labeled as facts, which include the following examples. Number 3, how often do we train for the Heat Illness Prevention HIPP? New employees are required to complete the heat stress recognition and prevention course during orientation. Annually, all employees are required to receive Safety Talk 2501. Heat Illness and Prevention, prior to April 1st of each year. A pamphlet will also be mailed to every employee annually. Number 13, what is the escalation process for HVAC repairs? Facilities and maintenance have an internal escalation notification for HVAC repairs. No action is necessary from the field. If repairs are not addressed, the HIPP coordinator can contact the senior field safety and health specialist for assistance. Number 15, why do you need a new poster, employee badges, and vehicle stickers? The wording on the graphic has been updated. Therefore, all 3 must be replaced with a new 2025 version. On the left side of the image that lists signs for heat exhaustion, the wording heavy sweating replaced excessive sweating. On the right side of the image that lists signs for heat stroke, the wording excessive sweating or red, hot, dry skin replaced no sweating, and very high body temperature replaced body temperature above 103 degrees, red, hot, dry skin. Lastly, there is an item that will be mailed to your homes. It is a 6-page document with a great deal of information. Take the time to read it and preserve it. We rely on this item for many nuggets of information that will protect our interest. On the 4th page, as I review the PDF version, there is a detailed explanation of how our bodies react to the heat. On the last page, there is a summary in a section titled Stay Safe, which closes with maintaining good nutrition, getting adequate sleep, and, believe it or not, take breaks to cool down as needed. I'll read that again. On the last page, there's a summary in a section titled Stay Safe, which closes with maintaining good nutrition, getting adequate sleep, and believe it or not, take breaks to cool down as needed. Most important for our union activists is to approach management and request that these materials be shared with all letter carriers in the form of training through stand-up talks that reach their audience. Keep an eye on each other, especially the most vulnerable. Here's the second one. Heat-related safety. Kansas City, Missouri, Branch 30 letter carrier John Watchkowitz died while in the performance of his duties on July 24th of 2012. He is identified as the first letter carrier who died as a result of the heat, but is not the last. On June 8th, 2018, brand new city carrier assistant Daniel Rosenbach of Georgetown, Kentucky, died of a heart attack which was later proven to be triggered by the extreme heat. Just 1 month later, on July 6, 2018, Tri-Valley, California branch 2902 letter carrier Peggy Frank, who had just returned to work following a 3-month medical absence, walked into a heat wave with a temperature reaching 117 degrees. She died that afternoon. The following summer, C.C. Rosalind Westfall died as a result of the heat on June 27, 2019 in St. Louis, Missouri. 2 years later, brand new letter carrier Dalver Basie of Branch 193, San Jose, California, who was delivering his route for the first time by himself, died on June 19th of 2021. On June 20th of 2023, Dallas, Texas, Branch 132 letter carrier Eugene Gates Jr. died as a result of the heat. In all the above tragedies, our brothers and sisters were relatively new to the job or had just returned to work following an absence, illness, or vacation. The NALC draws your attention to the seriousness of heat illness by reminding ourselves that the above letter carrier paid the ultimate price in the performance of their duties. What should you do to prepare for the heat of the summer before it arrives? Letter carriers should first educate themselves on heat safety by reading available information. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, maintains a website displaying its heat safety material at osha.gov/heat and instructs employers as follows. Under OSHA law, employers are responsible for providing workplaces free of known safety hazards. This includes protecting workers from extreme heat. An employer with workers exposed to high temperatures should establish a complete heat illness prevention program, provide workers with water, rest, and shade, allow new or returning workers to gradually increase workloads and take more frequent breaks as they acclimatize or build a tolerance for work in the heat, plan for emergencies and train workers on prevention, monitor workers for signs of illness. The NALC Safety and Health page on NALC website, nalc.org/workplace-issues-safety-and-health, also provides material on heat safety. Under the heading Extreme Weather are sections titled Safety in Extreme Heat, Enforcing Heat Safety Rules, OSHA NEOSH Heat Safety Tool, and OSHA citations relating to heat safety. Each of these sections contain information important to letter carriers working in the heat of the summer. This year, the USPS has updated its HIPP training material, which is referenced in this month's Safety and Health column. Copies of all these documents are now available on Safety and Health Extreme Weather page, nalc.org/workplace-issues-safety-and-health-extreme weather. Local NALC representatives should initiate a conversation with their supervisors, managers, or postmasters, asking that they share their plans to prevent letter carriers from suffering a heat injury, including copies of the training materials that will be used in stand-up talks. If there's pushback, shop stewards have the right to investigate what management plans to do to prevent you from suffering harm. In the event a letter carrier suffers a heat-related injury, the following steps should be taken. The very first thing that needs to be done is to provide the injured employee with medical attention by transporting these employees to a medical facility or immediately calling 911 for emergency care. Bringing the employee back to the office to fill out paperwork before medical care is provided could further jeopardize the employee's health and is not required. An employee does not need permission to seek emergency treatment. Section 866.1 of the Employee and Labor Relations Manual provides that In the event of a medical emergency, immediate and appropriate medical care must be provided. See the August 2017 Postal Record article by NALC Director of Safety and Health, Manny Peralta. The employee, a union representative, or a member of the family should request a CA-1 and complete the form requesting continuation of pay and submit to management. When the form is submitted to management, we should immediately obtain the receipt of the CA-1 from management. Obtain a Form CA-16 signed by management and then provide it to the treating physician. After medical care is provided, NALC requests that the employee or a union rep fill out an NALC initial heat injury report. The NALC seeks contact information for the injured employee as well as the branch president. And Manny asked me to tell y'all any heat illness or heat injury that y'all have incurred at your station. Anybody that has succumbed to the heat in any phase, just got sick, had to go to the doctor, whatever, he wants you to let him know at Peralta@NALC.org. Okay? Peralta@NALC.org. So anybody that has someone in their station, if it's you, that has some kind of heat illness, regardless of what it is, he wants you to let him know and email him at Peralta@NALC.org. And he asked me to convey that to you, so I am. We then need a description from the employee as to what happened leading up to the injury. When filling out the form, please share what type of delivery is involved: mounted, park and loop, centralized, temperature, heat, humidity, and heat index if possible, symptoms experienced by the injured employee, communication with management and their response. All these factors are very helpful in getting a picture as to what went wrong. Once the form is completed, it should be forwarded to the NALC's Director of Safety and Health as well as the appropriate National Business Agent, NBA. A copy of the form can be found on the NALC Safety and Health page in the section titled Enforcing Heat Safety Rules. Once the form is received at NALC headquarters, it will be tracked and a copy will be forwarded to the appropriate NBA. The NBA then can follow up as necessary with the injured employee, make sure that they have received the necessary medical care, and assist, if necessary, with workers' compensation paperwork and processing, a service that is provided to NALC members only. The local representative should then investigate the facts leading up to the injury. The following represents some issues that need to be explored, but many other questions might need to be asked. Did the employer properly train all letter carriers, including the injured employee, on how to prevent a heat injury? If so, when was the training last provided? Did the employer provide water, rest, and shade as recommended by OSHA and NEOSH? If the employer or someone else communicated with management to advise of the employee's condition, did management act appropriately and get the employee out of harm's way, or did they fail their responsibilities to the employee? If they failed, what did they do? After making a determination of the facts leading to the injury, the NALC representative may need to complete some or all of the following steps, depending on the circumstances. Fill out a PS Form 1767 to report the hazard, keeping a copy for your records. A grievance may need to be initiated. A complaint may need to be initiated with the U.S. Department of Labor. The fifth panel on the OSHA NEOSH Heat Safety app provides contact information. You can press the contact button and call or connect with the OSHA webpage. Scroll down to the Take Action section and press File a Safety and Health Complaint. This takes you to the page identified as How to File a Safety and Health Complaint, which lists your options. Alternatively, you can do the same by going to OSHA.gov. If you do file a complaint and/or grievance, please forward a copy to NALC's Director of Safety and Health. It is recommended that each letter carrier use the OSHA NEOSH Heat Safety Tool app each morning during the heat season to help determine what should be done each day to prevent heat injuries. And so, there you have it. 2 articles from Brother Manny Peralta, Director of Safety and Health. And so those things will be very helpful, and we'll keep putting those things out there. We'll keep reading those things because nothing's more important than our safety and our health. And since we've already had a couple of our brothers and sisters pass away already, we'll keep doing this. We'll keep educating, all right? We'll put everything else on the back burner and keep talking because we do not need to lose any more of our own. We cannot. We cannot. These are people that come in and work with us every day, that we've lived with and we've laughed and cried with. These are our people. And so we've got to take care of each other, right? I love you. I love you. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. That's just how it is. And all this other nonsense, all this other establishment bullshit, we'll handle that. I'll handle that, all right? Don't concern yourselves with it. Don't concern yourselves with it. I'll handle all this old stupid-ass bullshit from them, okay? The establishment does not want the CLC to take over, and that's all it is. They cannot lose their cush-ass positions. You got people that are establishment through and through that are running for president. They're guised as, I'm here to help. Trust me, I'm here to help. That's what their guise is they're going to say, hey, I'm different. You're not. Now, the establishment is the establishment, okay? And so the CLC is the only ones that are outside the establishment. Just look, you got James Henry, me, Kamitra Simpson Lewis, and Rob Kosher. That's outside the establishment. And so the establishment is done. They know it, and they're going to come out swinging, but they're just flailing, okay? They're just flailing. The city letter carrier is going to take back over this union next year, and there's not a doubt in my mind. They're going to take back over this union next year, and the agent is going to do what the agent is supposed to do, or else. The union is supposed to protect the city letter carrier, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The city letter carrier should come to work in a toxic-free environment, be able to do their job, and go home. It's the union is the one who should take the brunt of everything. That's what we're paid for, right? The union should take the brunt of all of that by getting in management's ass as soon as something happens, and we'll educate everybody on that. But the city letter carrier should come in and be able to do their job in a harmonious working environment, and that's what I'm going to strive for, okay? And so that's what's going to happen. I love you very much. I'll talk to y'all Thursday on the Lion's Den. We'll talk about route protection. And then Sunday, I'm going to have Miss Pam Donato. Y'all are going to love her. Talking about infectious personality that loves the city letter carrier. You're going to love this lady. And so I'll talk to y'all Thursday, all right? Love you. Bye.